Good evening and welcome to Poland Daily. I'm Nicholas Richardson and this is the news. There are only 4 days left until the Polish parliamentary elections. One of the conventions held in Kielce by the ruling Law and Justice Party, which is leading in the opinion polls, was devoted to the Polish countryside. The leaders of all groups emphasised the great importance of the elections and sought to mobilise their supporters.
The leader of the Law and Justice Party, Jarosław Kaczyński, appealed for participation in the elections.
Proszę Państwa,
There are only a few days left until the elections. We want to appeal to every Pole to take part in the elections. These elections are the most important elections since 1989.
Polska plus czy Polska minus?
Today, the leaders of the Civic Coalition have also been mobilizing their supporters. Everyone who finds democracy, equality, respect for other people, respect for the Constitution and human rights important, finds a place for himself. We know how to cooperate with one another. That's why my colleagues show that it's worth cooperating with us. It's worth changing Poland with us. On the other hand, the left wing organized a happening in front of the Sejm today. They were symbolically suing the Polish flag.
Polska potrzebuje.
Poland needs quiet. We have to talk about our programs and how to implement them. Today we wanted to sue Poland together symbolically. We wanted to sue the scars, the divisions that part us.
Dzisiaj chcieliśmy strzec Polskę symbolicznie.
According to the opinion polls, a very high voter turnout is expected during Sunday's elections.
Niezwykle ważny dzień do podjęcia.
This is an extremely important day to make a very important decision. Don't forget about Poland, but also don't forget to take your IDs with you.
I nie zapomnijmy też dowodu osobistego.
The election campaign will end on Friday. The election silence will start at midnight on Saturday. The polling stations will be open on Sunday from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m.
As the pre-election campaign in Poland enters its final phase, with only 4 days to go until Sunday's elections, Adam Borowski, an anti-communist activist during the communist era, who currently heads the weekly newspaper Gazeta Polska clubs, and is the candidate for the Law and Justice Party for the lower house of the Polish Parliament, handed out a special edition of Gazeta Polska in Warsaw today. 2 million copies of the free edition to the newspaper entitled Gazeta Polska before the elections were given away by members of the clubs and volunteers across the country.
To są bardzo ważne wybory.
These elections are very important, maybe the most important one since the fall of communism in 1989. Will we remain on the course of good change, or will we step down from it? We want to encourage Poles to vote. We have printed 2 million copies of the special edition of Gazeta Polska to encourage those who have Poland's best interests at heart to go and cast their votes.
I mamy zachęcić tych, którzy mają Polskę w sercu, żeby poszli.
Jeśli komuś na czymś zależy.
If someone is passionate about what they're doing, like this gentleman who handed me the paper just now, I think it's quite commendable. Too few young people take part in the elections, mostly older people, so it's a positive initiative and I'm all for it.
Myślę, że raczej pozytywnie,
To stanowi cząsteczkę.
It's only a small part of the pre-election campaign, but it's worth doing things like this. It can influence someone's decision. I took the paper, yes, although I'm not siding with the party the gentleman represents. My values are broad beans, hummus, and soup vegetables, not God, honor, and fatherland.
Humus i włoszczyzna.
Docieracie.
It reaches a lot of people. It's very needed.
Jak najbardziej potrzebne.
The Man for Impossible Tasks. This is the title of Jerzy Kwasiński's biography of Antoni Macierewicz, a founder of the Committee for the Defence of Workers' Rights in 1976 and, more recently, a defence minister, which was published today. Friends of Antoni Macierewicz say that this book is a story of 2 generations of Poles reflected through the prism of the main character's life.
The title of the Antoni Macierewicz biography, A Man for Impossible Tasks, is not accidental because that is how this politician was called by Prime Minister Jan Olszewski when he was a member of his cabinet.
Jest ponadmiarowe.
The wording that the Prime Minister used, which was invented somewhere, but I do not perform special tasks, but I have fulfilled and do fulfill the tasks that are set before me and my generation. I'm one of many, one of hundreds of thousands of people who take challenges to make Poland independent. The lives of our parents were extraordinary. We only continue that.
Nie jest to nic nadzwyczajnego.
The author of the biography is Jerzy Kwasiński, a longtime editor-in-chief of tygodnik Solidarność. The book was created as a result of dozens of conversations with the main subject of the publication, as well as reviewing hundreds of documents and bibliographical items. It is also a response to the unauthorized and distorted publications that have appeared so far.
Warto, żeby
odbiorcy.
It is of great value that readers learn directly from Antoni Macierewicz what was the history of the Workers' Defense Committee and how the founding of Solidarity looked, and at all these crucial moments Antoni Macierewicz was an active participant.
Jak powstanie Solidarności.
According to Jan Parys, who was part of the government of Jan Olszewski together with Antoni Macierewicz, the life of the main character of the book reflects the history of Poland during the last 50 years as in a mirror.
W ten sposób, paradoksalnie, powstał rynek na...
In this way, paradoxically, a stage was created for a reliable book about the opposition in communist Poland. I think that it is fascinating reading through the eyes of a student, an opponent who later became Interior Minister, and then 25 years later, Minister of National Defense, and we can observe the political history of the last two generations.
Przez pryzmat studenta, opozycjonisty.
The book was published by the Krakow publishing house Biały Kruk.
Professor Jan Szyszko, a former Minister of the Environment in the ruling Law and Justice Party, died suddenly today in Warsaw. Professor Szyszko was an outstanding scientist, naturalist, and a great patriot. In 2008, the Electronic Journal of Theoretical Physics awarded him with the Ettore Majorana Medal, recognising his outstanding contribution to theoretical and mathematical physics. That's the news. Thank you for watching. Stay with us for the weather, Poland Daily Business and more programmes. But from me, it's have a good night and a better tomorrow.